remembers it. I don't want it in the show, okay?
Okay.
I want new things. You know what? Maybe like whatever's behind Nate. No, that's old.
You
Something
hear that?
new.
Mom, you're out.
You're out, Mom.
Neo Mom took your place. You hear that, girlfriend? You're out.
Cyber Mom 2077
Cyber
is in.
girlfriend Alpha 12 is now in charge of the penis area.
And that is my philosophy about civilization and humankind. Now let's do our podcast where we talk about Ghost of Yesteryear.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, you're taking a real futurist sort of stance.
Yeah,
and they're also from the past.
I've been playing a lot of Shadowrun, which happens to be from the past. That's fair, but I'm all about the future now. And shamanism. I want to bring totems to life.
I like Shadowrun specifically. I wish there would be like some kind of fully realized Shadowrun situation. A movie, a fucking video game. Who's in the Shadowrun movie?
Well, the Shadowrun video games from Harebrained Schemes are phenomenal.
I've played a couple of them, but I'm talking. Listen, I want to get in there like The Witcher. I want a character to build, and freaking.
Gotcha.
I want to hack and
Nick
slash
Cage
and blast. Yeah, you want Nick Cage? Yes,
Nick Cage, the cyber shaman Decker.
Absolutely.
No, I think Nick Cage would play the dragon that you're not supposed to deal with.
Oh God, Nate, this is so fucking good, dude.
Now, Shadowrun starts in what, 2012, right? With the Great Awakening.
Mm-hmm.
Dragons start appearing again. Turns out everyone who's a corporate master is actually a dragon. Has just been hanging out as a
dragon.
Human.
Is the president of the United States for a hot second.
Then he gets assassinated. No spoilers.
But there's also like cyber shit happening. You know, there's like this is a cyberpunk world where magic all of a sudden came back, and it's crazy what happens in there. It's great. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cyber Wolf Punkdar, the world's premier cyberpunk awareness podcast. My name is Cyber Jordan Dahl.
I am Ted Theodore Nate Balding.
My name's Icebreaker Nor.
Whoa. See, that
I've been playing Shadowrun. I know it.
Today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by Monstroko brand Blackest Coffee. Nothing can escape the blackest of coffees. Not cream, not sugar, not screams, not hope. Monstroko, Blackest Coffee. What the fuck?
No matter how much screams I put into this coffee, it doesn't become sweet.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah. Well, what are you screaming into it?
Songs of joy, mostly from Dad.
See, I don't
the
know how to help
YouTuber.
him. That's what you should be. That guy rocks. YouTube's dad.
Yeah, he's the greatest YouTuber. Me and Kylie have been following him since he started.
I've been following. I've been getting YouTube. I've been getting more YouTube active, I should say, in a good way. I've been finding my channels and being like, hell yeah, this is a good thing. People can make good things when left to their own devices, not just venomous trash.
Yeah, Dad, if you don't know the premise of it, is he's the world's greatest YouTuber, interdimensional. Danny Brown's in his fucking storyline. It's hilarious. Check it out.
Check it out, for sure.
Danny Brown's in there.
Got that Werewolf Radar endorsement. Don't waste it.
Huge bump.
How are you guys? Let's check in with the squad real quick. Anybody, any paranormal events in your life of recent? Anything spooky report?
No, I did do a Twitter poll.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. What were the results of the Twitter poll?
Last week we did a segment via the Jordan,
which
about
freaked
Bloody
me out.
Mary.
It freaked me out for days following that.
So we did a poll on: have you said Bloody Mary into a mirror?
Mm-hmm.
The options were: yes, I saw nothing; no, I get scared; yes, she is a nice lady.
Interesting. Which one won? Which
Well,
one got the most?
30%, yes, I have seen nothing.
Okay.
30%, no, I get scared.
Yeah.
And then 40%, the winner of this poll, yes, she is a nice lady.
Whoa, what?
So the stories we've been hearing might not be accurate. Bloody Mary might be a nice lady.
That's true, but more importantly, wow, this is very weird that my brain went straight to this. More importantly, people are having contact. These are positive encounters. Also, maybe they were sarcastic. Again, I'd like to reiterate my push for sarcastic punctuation, some sort of sarcasm mark. So, because they might have been like, yeah, I did. She was a nice lady.
And when I give you guys a quick update kind of on Bloody Mary, or not an update, but maybe an addendum. This is a thing I found today while researching hobo spirits. This is from castleofspirits.com. They have a whole Bloody Mary section.
Sure.
And we should reiterate that if you do this, this summoning the witch has one of the following terrible consequences. Number 1, eyes being ripped out by the witch.
Don't want that.
No.
Number 2, claw marks all over the body.
Now that's sometimes hot, kind of into that.
But still, well,
I like to be clawed.
My girlfriend would have questions. That would cause, at the very least, a rift.
Listen, my girlfriend would know. She'd be like, Bloody Mary again.
Was this some sort of horrible spirit? Yeah. Some sort of frightful interaction.
Number 3, disappear mysteriously from the bathroom and end up in the mirror with the witch for eternity.
Definitely.
That's my fear. That is one of my greatest fears, to be honest.
Yikes.
That's getting the Candyman done to you.
Ugh.
Candyman. Number 4, view the horrifying image of the witch appearing in the mirror.
Hachi machi.
Uh-oh, you'll have to see something.
That seems to be kind of your standard effect. That seems to be kind of the you saved, you passed your Constitution save.
You still took damage, but you passed your Constitution save.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny that they sandwiched being horrified by the image between mysteriously gets sent into the mirror universe and number 5, driven insane or dropping dead on the spot at the appearance of the witch in the mirror.
Well, you don't want that. All right, don't. Just don't. I don't know why. I'm of the second 30%. No, I get scared. Let's not. I'm of the same mind with Ouija boards, because deep down, I think that there are energies at work in the world that we don't understand. I'm a believer. I'm not gonna give up.
That's fair. I'm with that too. Why take the chance outside of a video game?
Well, also, I think that you can do these things. I think that you can, engage in conjuration, and that you can engage in divination and evocation even. But don't do it all willy-nilly, all Parker Brothers in the bathroom and shit. That's fucking, I don't know.
Do it the Milton Bradley way with a gun.
Yeah, dude. You get the Kmart version of the Ouija board. What is that? The USG board? The Yugi board. The Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, why is there not a Yu-Gi-Oh brand Ouija board yet? A Yugi board?
What, just strap it to your arm so you can just summon the devil whenever.
I mean, if you
Monstroko, listen up. We're looking for a Yu-Gi-Oh Ouija board.
It would be what's the here's a scary thing actually. Are you guys familiar with the entity known as Zozo?
Yep, I'm familiar. My favorite hidden character in Final Fantasy VI as well.
Whoa, really?
You never seen Zozo?
No, I've never played anything before Final Fantasy VII.
Oi.
I know.
That hurts me.
Listen, I'm an immigrant. Right. I'm from a foreign land.
Listen, we're gonna stop playing D&D apparently, and me and Jordan are just gonna let's play Final Fantasy all the way to 7.
We'll sort something out. But what was I talking about? I lost it.
Zuzu.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Zozo.
And the other day I fully woke up because I said that name and scared myself awake in my dream.
Oh.
And I might have said it out loud.
That's how I wake up from dreams. I speak shit, and my lady will wake me up and go you're having a nightmare, and it's waking up the whole house.
Yeah. Anyway, we should probably get into the pod.
I guess
I got a heater for y'all today. I did want to mention I've been watching the American Horror Stories on Hulu. Have you guys seen that?
How's Sarah Paulson
doing?
Not the
new one.
I haven't encountered her yet, but I did see
How's Evan
Nora.
Peters?
I did see Nora, Nora's friend, comedian in Denver. Her
Sean Carroll Lynch. He plays Twisty.
Nora Lynch's brother. Yes.
Yeah.
But he's not
Great.
Twisty in this. But it was pretty good. I mean, it is characteristically, fucking cornball melodrama, psychosexual. Every teen is like a fucking like a mini sex Yoda in their mind.
Ryan Murphy knows what he likes.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like every teen that you meet in American Horror Story is like, you're like 80, I guess. And you're like the mind of an 80-year-old, and you smoke cigarettes and are like in a fucking polyamorous relationship.
Yeah, because they're cool.
Don't you remember being
They're
young,
cool.
Jordan?
I
Being
do.
wise
And it
beyond your
wasn't like
years in a
that.
polyamorous relationship.
I was stupid and sexless. Still am. Heyo. Okay,
Heyo.
can I go first? I gotta
Wah,
get.
wah.
Actually, you know what?
Go first if
I
you
wanna-
want,
I
or
wanna
switch it up.
I want to go second.
All right,
I want to go next.
Nate, you first.
Well, yeah. I'm ready to jump in with. As I said, I was looking for
Yes.
ghost hobo stories and
Yes.
general train stuff earlier, and a lot of it's real, just sad.
Yeah.
But the story that
story.
As we learned at the Grave Nugget.
Mhm.
yeah, you can check out the Grave Nugget for more weird train shit.
It's a good grave nugget. People need to hear this stuff. Sometimes we do a grave nugget, and I'm like, should we tell this vital information to people who aren't in the Dark Council? And then I know that the answer is no, because there must be a cleansing.
So the story that I've landed on, though, was a pretty fun one. It's the Ghost of San Antonio's Train Tracks.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a Southwest barbecue flavored story.
Ooh.
And if you know about the Grave Nuggets, you know that they all carry their own flavor. So it's not one of them. If you're ever in Southwest Texas, you might consider driving a little further down, just south of San Antonio. Near the San Juan Mission, you'll find the intersection of Via Main and Shane. It is there, right on Shane Road, where the haunted railroad tracks lay. This intersection, stained with tales of blood, has become a notorious urban legend for San Antonio locals. The story always revolves around a tragic school bus accident in which several students were killed. The ghosts of these children never crossed over and remain on the railroad tracks to this day. The legend has captivated people from across the country, inspiring them to make the journey to the deadly intersection to experience the paranormal activity personally.
Hey, Ma, you want to see where the kids died?
Now let's make a cross-country trip. One telling of the legend takes place during the 1930s or 1940s, depending on the account. And according to this variation, a bus carrying students home from school was headed toward the intersection. When it came to the railroad tracks, the bus stalled out. The bus driver then noticed a train barreling down on them, and the driver rushed to get the children off the bus. But there wasn't enough time. The train crashed into the bus, killing 10 of the students and the bus driver as well. However, there is a much more fun version. We're going into it
where all the kids die and a werewolf is born.
Oh no! What?
Well, it's not that fun. This is not an American Horror Story. The more detailed version, which explains the legend more suitably, begins much in the same way. Decades ago, late 30s, early 40s, still the same, on an especially dark evening, a nun was driving a school bus filled with children home after a field trip. They were heading down Shane Road, but when approaching the railroad crossing, the bus abruptly stalled out on the tracks. Most of the students were sleeping, so she was quietly attempting to start the engine back up. It was then that a train emerged out of nowhere as its headlamp was burnt out. It offered no warning of its impending arrival. It was too late to evacuate the children as the train was moving too fast.
No.
The nun, desperately and frantically, turned the key, making one last attempt to restart the bus just as the train smashed through it, cutting the bus in half.
Oh no!
The nun was thrown to the windshield, but miraculously survived. The young children were not
stuck
as fortunate.
the landing. Bang! Children!
Did a cool roll.
Children,
Got
how
a
did you
fighting
fare?
stance.
Any better?
Got those god powers.
Wow, the children were all killed instantly.
Oh, all
Well,
of
that's
them?
better.
Come on.
All
Oh,
of them.
bummer. Oh, you mean None survived? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That was
I'm
solid.
sorry. Ah.
A few weeks later, the nun, guilt-ridden and heartbroken, returned to the site of the accident.
Oh,
She was unable to continue on and thus decided to end her life.
Oh.
She parked her car on the tracks and sat there waiting for the next train to come along. Later, when a train came into sight, speeding down toward her, in the same way as that tragic night, the nun began to hear small, familiar voices.
Whoa.
Then her car began to move forward as if it was being pushed from behind.
Whoa, they saved her.
They got her.
Whoa.
The nun's car was rolled to safety just as the train roared by. In disbelief, the nun got out of her car and began looking around, expecting to find a good Samaritan. She saw not a single soul. She looked back at her car and noticed children-sized handprints on the back of her trunk.
Ooh. Okay.
It was then that she realized that the ghosts of her students had saved her life. The nun was then blessed with a newfound purpose, and she opened a school for orphans, where she taught until the day she died.
Wow.
That gave me the goosebumps.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's a pretty solid one. It is said that to this day, if anyone parks their car on or near the railroad tracks at Shane Road, ghostly children will push the vehicle to safety.
So what Adam P in the chat said, this is pretty forgiving kids. How did they end up on the tracks? Did the bus break down?
Just stalled out somehow.
Like a timing belt issue to where like it just stops.
Get out of the bus.
Yeah, it wouldn't turn over, I guess. So.
Get out of that bus.
She wanted to keep the kids sleeping. They were little sleeping angels.
Oh,
and now they're real angels.
Yeah. Well, no, they're bound forever to this spot.
Oh yeah, yes.
As long as nuns and teens are going there to test their metal. Please let us rest. No, one more. Okay. Zach Baggins again.
The legend has grown so much over the years that tourists travel from all over the country so that they may bear witness to this phenomenon at the railroad crossing. Some will sprinkle baby powder on the back end of their car so they can more easily spot the handprints after their vehicles pushed off the tracks.
That's a great idea, because sometimes I've heard that the handprints can be like from people closing a trunk, you know?
Yeah.
Or something like that, and they just don't realize it. So you got to make sure to wipe off you got to make sure to go after a wash and try that baby powder thing. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, and we've read not a lot of stories, but enough stories of children's handprints being found on cars, especially in this kind of situation. It seems to be a pretty regular thing that kids are trying to save people.
Yeah.
After their
that's true.
Die tragically.
It does seem wildly popular in the afterlife to be like, let's be some of those rescue ghosts you hear about.
This method I did use in my apartment, to where like, let's just leave it dusty. If there's a ghost here, it'll interact, leave some prints. We'll see what happens.
That's at the very least a good excuse not to dust.
Indeed. Don't dust to get that ghost print.
There's a couple first-hand accounts here.
Love it.
While there are many skeptics of this occurrence, one person...
Sorry.
One person who tested the legend was Brenda Pacheco. Quote, I put my car in neutral, took my foot off the pedals, and the car moved. It moved quickly towards the tracks, up over the bump and down the other side, well out of harm's way. So it's not just like, one of the phantom hills with the gravity wells. Like we went to that one time.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've been to one of these push spots.
How do you know that this is kids pushing the car and not Jesus taking the wheel?
Okay, well, Pacheco also did the baby powder test.
Because I'm wearing garlic around my neck, and Jesus can't handle that.
He's allergic.
I was so excited. I got out to check the back of my car, and there were the tiny handprints, plain and clear, and so tiny, which actually maybe it's fake creatures. Who knows? The prints were so perfect, you could see the lines of the palms and the swirl of the fingerprints.
All right.
Another person's encounter at the railroad tracks. I know many dispute the legend of the railroad track ghosts. However, I was witness to one very indisputable event there in my late teens, early 20s. She goes on to recall her experience at the railroad tracks. I once went over in my convertible with a new parakeet in the car. The bird has been chirping happily.
I never think about it, but like a small bird to like get another like sense, like a creature's sense of like
genius.
horror.
It is the literal canary in the coal mine.
Canary in the coal mine, yeah. Canary in the ghost mine.
Yeah.
The bird had been chirping happily until we staged the vehicle for the tracks, when suddenly his chirping was completely silent. It wasn't until we left the area that he began to chirp again. Wow. Curious by her bird's reaction, she decided to try the baby powder legend out for herself. I used the baby powder on my car. I had multiple small handprints, but these handprints did not belong to me, and I had no children anywhere around my car previously. I was extremely meticulous about the appearance of my car.
Interesting.
Good. You got to be meticulous when doing these experiments.
Bingo, bango, absolutely.
Well, and this is her sweet ass ragtop Corvette or whatever. She says when she washes their car, she washes the car with dish soap, oils from the handle removed, so no prints remain.
Good God.
My dad does that for his truck. He cares like that. There's something about the human hand that leaves a lot of bad grease on shit. Only dish soap cuts it.
Tell me about it. My place is filthy, covered in grease and prints.
Many locals have made claims. They say that you can hear the rumbling sounds of a train nearing, the steam whistle howling, and the screeching of wheels as if the train is grinding to a halt, but nothing ever appears. Nothing is there at all except for the haunting chill of the night. So it's not just the kids. There's also a ghost train, and there's a ghost woman.
Okay.
Oh, the trifecta.
Yeah.
It's a massively haunted area. A popular story locals will tell you occurred not long after the horrific crash. It involves a woman who was driving down Shane Road late one night. As she approached the railroad crossing, she saw a little girl standing all alone on the side of the road. She immediately stopped, pulled over, and offered the girl a ride home. Once they arrived at the girl's house, the child was hesitant to leave the vehicle and head inside. The woman assumed that the girl must have ran away from home after a fight with her parents. It's a heavy assumption, but...
Yeah. Yeah.
But who hasn't?
Really coloring outside the lines there.
So she told the girl that she would speak to her mother. When the woman got out of the car, she looked back to give the girl a reassuring smile, but she had vanished. The woman quickly reopened her car door, but no one was there. However, the seatbelt was still fastened. Another eerie account, which happened more recently, took place one weekend when a girl and a couple of friends made the trip to San Antonio to see the haunted railroad tracks. The girl took numerous pictures and emailed them to her mother. The mother was shocked to discover that in one of the photos there appeared to be a ghost of a little girl holding onto her teddy bear.
Wow. That's a high level spooky ghost. You know, some people that's their full on nope level.
It goes on to talk. This next part is the truth about the haunted railroad tracks.
All
the
right.
truth has been Yeah, we're getting down there. Brass tacks time. The truth has been debated in San Antonio with both residents and law enforcement officials weary of the legend, which is also very funny to me. Like, people are just sick and tired of retelling this ghost story. All the goddamn tourists to San Antonio.
That's the only thing they come to San Antonio for.
The main thing, at least. And the
There have been countless reports of cars appearing to move on their own with mysterious childlike prints showing up on vehicles afterward. Some have allegedly heard the voices and laughter of children while at the railroad tracks. However, despite these stories, there's no record of any accidents ever occurring on the railroad tracks in San Antonio.
Weird. That is weird.
Well, it does have a weirder thing, because some people believe the legend was inspired by another fatal accident that happened on December 1st in 1938 in Salt Lake City. The city was dealing with blizzard conditions, and a school bus carrying over 20 students was attempting to bring the kids home safe when a bus stalled out on the railroad just as a 50-car freight train came hurling their way, and every single person died.
Wow.
So there's this weird... It either got imported from this thing specifically.
Sure.
But I mean, that doesn't explain any of the phenomena that are occurring on these tracks.
No,
I guess not.
I think we have maybe like that Slender Man or the Rake issue to where like human perception and care and like love of telling the story has brought its physical manifestation to this area. right? Like they liked this story so much. They're like, no, this is that railroad track. That's where it happened.
Stranger Things.
And now they got the ghosts of it.
You know, if I was to write the comic book version of this, I would write it about an orphan ghost who hears the same story and goes to the spot only to find a bunch of other orphan ghosts who heard the story. And so they decide to become the story and help people off of the tracks.
Nice.
That seems pretty heartwarming.
Yeah.
This story got turned around.
For you, maybe.
I'm still horrified.
Youth, ages 6 to 12. No, it was later than that. Right on. Anything else we should know about the children of many hands?
Not about that specific ghost story, except that watch out for trains.
Yeah, watch out for trains, guys. You can tell they're coming.
They're usually real.
Because they're enormous.
Ghost trains.
Yes, but despite what you may have heard in the Grave Nugget today.
Yeah.
You just can't assume. You can't take that risk.
There was
probably a ghost train.
There was one that I read about a North Carolinian wreck from a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 people that did die thinking that the train that was approaching them was a ghost train.
Yikes.
And they just didn't get out of the way in time.
I bet they were pretty spooked.
Ghost.
Oh shit, this might not be a ghost train. Go. Oh, nope. Now we're ghosts.
That's regular type. Yeah.
Now they're pushing the cars.
Now they're ghost trains, and they have to take the ghost train to work every day at the scare factory.
Nice.
All right. May I, Nate?
Oh, absolutely.
If you're finished with your segment,
Nate, send that link to me as well.
Let's call it Train No Thing, baby.
Nice. Great. A lot of spooky train stuff out of Nate today. That's a very delightful corner of death. I want to talk to y'all about something.